right, let's dive right in. Have you ever noticed how some people can just shift the entire vibe of a room without even saying a word? They don't have to shout or argue. They just pull back, they withdraw. And just like that, everything changes. Today, we're gonna break down exactly why that is and how this simple shift in your availability can totally transform your relationships and honestly, your whole life. So let's start with a really direct question for you. What would actually happen if you just stopped reacting? I mean, stopped replying instantly to every text, every demand, every single emotional fire someone else wants you to put out. What if you chose silence instead of that automatic yes? This isn't about being cold or rude, not at all. It's about taking back the controls. Because let's face it, people get used to controlling you through your predictability. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? The real power isn't in some loud confrontation. It's in the quiet, conscious choice to just step back. See, when you withdraw your energy, you completely change the rules of the game. And all those people who thought they had you on lockdown are suddenly forced to reevaluate everything. And that leads us straight into what you could call the availability prison. We've been sold this idea that being available 24/7 is some kind of virtue, right? That it makes you a good person. But the hard truth? More often than not, it just turns you into a tool for others, making you predictable, easy to manipulate, and completely drained. I mean, think about it like this. For a lot of people in your life, you might have become their emotional emergency button. When they're feeling down, or bored, or need a quick ego boost, they just push you, and you give them that validation, that relief. And then what happens? Once they feel better, they put you right back on the shelf until the next emergency. You're not a person to them in that moment. You're a function. So what's going on psychologically here? Well, this ties in perfectly with a concept from the legendary psychologist Carl Jung, the persona. The persona is that social mask we all wear. It's the nice, agreeable version of ourselves we put out there to be liked and accepted. It's the part of you that smiles and says yes when every single cell in your body is screaming no, all because you want to keep up that easy, available image. And here's the really cruel twist in all of this. The more constantly, endlessly available you make yourself, the less you are valued. It's just a basic law of human nature, almost like economics. Anything that's always in abundant supply isn't seen as special or valuable. So your constant presence, ironically, makes people respect you less. Okay, so this brings us to the real price you pay for being too available. It's not just about what other people think of you, it's about what it's doing to you on the inside. The very real, very damaging draining of your vital energy. Jung had this incredible way of looking at the mind as an energy system. He called it psychic energy. Now, think of this like your phone battery. It is a finite resource. You only have so much mental and emotional strength to get you through the day. Every little interaction, every thought, every reaction, it all uses up a piece of that battery. The real question is, are you the one deciding where that precious energy goes? Because, man, we waste it all the time. We react impulsively to things that are designed to get a rise out of us. We get sucked into pointless arguments online or at the dinner table. We spend so much energy defending ourselves from criticism that, in the grand scheme of things, means absolutely nothing. And worst of all, we pour ourselves into trying to please people who will never, ever value us. Every single one of these is a leak in your system. And Jung's principle here is just so profound. That which you resist persists. When you get angry and react to something, you think you're fighting it, but you're not. You're actually binding yourself to it. You're hooking your energy right into it and keeping that negative dynamic alive and well. Real power isn't about fighting back harder. It's about choosing not to engage in the first place. So if reacting is the problem, what's the solution? This is where we get to the heart of it, the power of silence. And look, we are not talking about the silence of fear or weakness. We're talking about a conscious, strategic, and powerful silence. And we've got to make a really clear distinction here. There are two totally different kinds of silence. Weak silence, that comes from fear, from cowardice. It's about escape. But powerful silence, that comes from a place of awareness and strength. It's not an absence of something, it's a powerful presence. It's you declaring your own sovereignty. This is how you flip the script. When you stop reacting, you take away a manipulator's favorite toy, their control over the narrative. They rely on your reaction to keep their drama going. Your anger, your explanations, that's their fuel. When you offer them nothing but silence, the game just stops. It forces them to sit alone with their own chaos, and trust me, most of them can't stand it. And all of this practice, this strategic use of silence, it's actually a critical step in what Jung called individuation. That's just a fancy word for the lifelong journey of becoming your whole authentic self, of stripping away the masks and the expectations of others. And you can't do that if you're constantly being pulled in a million directions. You need that distance and silence to finally hear your own voice. Okay, but I have to be real with you. This is not some easy magical fix. When you start to change these dynamics, when you start putting up boundaries where there were none before, there will be backlash. This is the uncomfortable part of the process, the rebirth. First, you're gonna hear this one. You've changed. And they almost never mean it as a compliment. It's an accusation, as if your personal growth is a massive inconvenience to their life. Then, when that doesn't work, they'll pull out the guilt trip. You're being so selfish. This is a classic manipulation tactic. They're trying to make your basic self-preservation sound like some kind of deep moral feeling, all to pull you back into your old, familiar role. And finally, if you're still holding your ground, you might get this one. What is wrong with you? This is a direct attack. It's not a real question. It's designed to make you doubt your own sanity because the fact that you've stopped being useful to them is deeply unsettling to their world. But you have to listen to me on this. This is the most important part. All of that negative feedback, the accusations, the guilt trips, that is not a sign you're doing something wrong. It is the absolute, undeniable proof that you are finally breaking free from their control. It's the sound of your chains starting to rattle. So how do you actually start this? It's not about some big dramatic announcement. It starts with small, conscious choices. First, just stop responding immediately. Give yourself a buffer. Second, before you react to anything provocative, just take one deep breath. Third, practice saying no without feeling like you owe them a 5-page essay explaining why. A simple no is enough. And finally, and this is a big one, stop feeling the need to explain your absence. Your peace does not require a justification. So finally, let's talk about the payoff. What happens when you get through all that discomfort? Well, the real transformation begins. You stop being someone who just reacts to life and all its dramas, and you start becoming someone who actively creates their life. And the honest-to-God truth is you will lose people on this journey. You will. People who only liked the version of you that served their needs. But the trade-off is absolutely worth it, because in their place, you find yourself. You get to reconnect with who you actually are underneath all those layers of shoulds and expectations. This table just sums it all up perfectly. This is the journey. You go from being predictable to being sovereign, the ruler of your own life. You go from feeling constantly drained to feeling whole. You stop being a tool for other people's needs, and you start being respected for who you truly are. So, we'll leave you with this final question to really think about. This path to becoming your whole true self, it often means you'll be misunderstood by those who are comfortable with the old you. Are you willing to pay that price? Are you willing to be misunderstood in the short term in order to become whole in the long run?